Okay. So I just wanted to warn you, it could be a little mature nature. So do anyone know what a mandate reporter is? What's the importance of a mandate reporter? You have the right to be safe. Do anyone know what a mandate reporter is? Do anybody know?
And also feel free to drop any answers in the chat as well, if you prefer that.
Okay. So a mandate reporter care about you not getting hurt. If they find someone been hurt, they have to tell someone, like the police. If you tell someone's hurt you to keep it secret, they can't do that. They have to tell someone. So by law, the people that serve at regional center, the people that serve you, the first responders, they're all mandate reporters, and they're supposed to report any suspected abuse towards people with disabilities. You guys know that? People with disabilities want to be treated just like everyone else. One of the greatest rights we have is the right to be safe. When we go home, we have the right not to be hurt by anyone. When we go to work, we have the right to be treated well. We should be able to go to the store, meet people we know, and have fun. We have the right to feel safe wherever we go and wherever we do. In this training, we're going to talk about something that's very important. We're going to talk about crimes. So you turn to the TV, guess what you hear? You hear things about crime all the time. It's like that. It's worldwide. Crime is a worldwide phenomenon. So it's not just here in LA, it's all over the world. It's crime all over the world. So the definition of a crime. The law says a crime is any behavior that may be punished by being put in jail, by had to pay money, or both. So that's a definition of a crime. A more simple way to think of crimes is number one, breaking the rules. Number two, hurting you on purpose. Someone does something to your stuff. Someone does something to hurt your mind. Someone make you feel stupid, not important, not human, or worthless. There are many different types of crimes. Some crimes hurt your body. Other crimes can hurt your stuff. All crimes can hurt your feelings. So any questions so far? We're going to move on. So what type of crimes are they? You know?
Thanks a lot, David.
Is it taking people to jail or something?
Yes.
And taking people to jail, but that's after the crime, right?
Yes. So those are type of crimes. So there are many different types of crimes. Some crimes hurt your body. All crimes hurt your stuff. All crimes can hurt your feelings. Okay. So next. Okay. You guys know what robbery is?
Wesley, we also have some answers in the chat. Ricardo says hate crimes. Ingrid says kidnapping.
Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, next slide. Okay, anyone give an example of what physical abuse is? Do you know what physical abuse is?
He's a pulling his shirt.
Yeah, exactly. Physical abuse is when someone hurt your body in some way. So they could be hitting you, they could be slapping you, they could be shooting you, they could be hit or run, it could be all type of things. And that's what physical abuse is. Any question about physical abuse? Okay, so for those who are under 18 years old, we're gonna talk about something very mature. So if it bothers you, I would suggest that you go off a little bit. Okay, someone give an example of sexual abuse. Okay, sexual abuse could be several things. Sexual abuse is when someone touches you in a private place without your permission. or it could be forcing you to watch sexual acts when you don't want to, or it could be forcing you to have sex with them when you don't want to. This is called rape. So how many people like to swim? If someone touches those areas without the permission, that is sexual abuse. Those are private areas. Sexual abuses can be male, female, young, old, it could be anyone. So any question about sexual abuse? This is a picture of a sexual abuser, but they can also look like this. Sexual abuse can be anybody. Anybody's capable of sexual abuse. You guys have any questions? Okay. Can someone tell me what a hate crime is? What is a hate crime?
Is it a crime that against somebody that looks different from you or acts different from you?
Yeah, it could be because of your sexual orientation, it could be because of your race, it could be because of your gender, it could be because of your religion. There's a lot of different types of hate crimes. If someone do something bad to you because of who you are, what you like, because you have a disability too. Okay, so admit her. So any question about a hate crime? We're gonna move on.
Your name and if there's something that you like to eat. So, I don't know, Emily.
Yeah. A hate crime is a person with disability. Can someone give me an example of emotional abuse? What is emotional abuse?
When they hurt feelings.
Exactly. Emotional abuse is verbal assaults, humiliation, threats, harassment, intimidation, other abuse behaviors. When someone says things and does things that really hurt your feelings, make you feel worthless. If someone does a lot, it's wrong. So there's a lot of emotional abuse. If someone call you a name or different things, if someone screaming at you, someone making a threat, harass you.
In the chat, we have people yelling at you could be considered emotional abuse.
That's correct. That's correct. So any question about emotional abuse? We're gonna move on. Emotional abuse can make you feel really bad. So on the screen, there's a man screaming at a kid, the kid's crying. That's an example of emotional abuse. Any questions on emotional abuse? Can someone give me an example against crime, against property? What's crime against property?
Breaking,
Yes,
breaking what is not yours.
exactly.
Graffiti,
Yeah,
tagging,
yes. Crime against property is when someone hurts you by either one, doing damage to something you own, number two, taking something that's yours. So stealing is also crime against property. Some examples of this is stealing, robbery, breaking your window, drawing on your door, graffiti, break yourself on purpose, take your glasses, steal your wheelchair, throw away your medications. And so it does this a lot. This is wrong. Any questions about crime against property? We're gonna move on. Do anyone know what a caretaker is? Do anyone know?
Someone that helps you on your daily life.
Yes, that's correct. A caretaker or service provider is someone paid to help you do certain things. Number one, getting you dressed. Number two, making food. Number three, going to the market. Number four, managing money. Number five, taking medicine. A caregiver has special responsibilities to have to take care of you. So any questions about caretakers? Okay, next. Can anyone give me an example of neglect? Do anyone know?
Maybe people not taking care of you, not feeding you, not giving you shelter or helping you out.
Exactly. When someone's responsible to help, but they don't do their job. Take care of you, but don't do their job. When someone forces you to be alone all the time, when someone doesn't let you spend time with other people. Example of neglect: failure to provide for food, failure to provide shelter, medical care, social contact, just allow you to be around your friends. So any questions about neglect? Okay. So we're gonna move on. Can anyone give an example of abandonment?
When you are left alone,
Yes. Okay. Leaving you alone when they're not supposed to without ever wanting to come back. Leave it without making sure you're gonna be okay, but have someone else look after you. So I went to a program about 10 years ago, and the person, the staff at the program, for people, adults with disabilities, went to a mall and left the participants in the mall by themselves. They didn't know where to go. So they came back and cursed out all the staff, all the participants. So that's an example of abandonment, and that's very, very serious. So this is very, very serious crimes. So any question about abandonment? Okay, next. Can Tony tell me what an abduction or kidnapping is? Do anyone know?
Someone is kidnapping
Thank you.
a child or using funding.
So David said taking somebody against their will.
Exactly. And abduction is someone take you somewhere you don't want to go. So it happens a lot. You might see it on the freeway, child abduction. And it happens with people with disabilities too. It have a silver alert. So any question about abduction, kidnapping? Okay, next. Can someone give me an example of financial abuse? Okay, financial abuse. Financial abuse is when someone takes money that belongs to you. Or help someone take care of your money, use it for him or herself. So financial abuse is when someone takes your money. So any questions about crimes? How did the crimes happen to me? How do I stay safe at home? I'm gonna read all these tips and want you guys to see, yes, see what you think. Number one, have a key in your hand when you walk to the door. So why is it important to have a key when you walk to the door?
Maybe so that if someone is watching you or following you, you're not at the door fumbling with your keys, you're able to just go straight in your home.
Exactly. Number two, if someone else drives you home, ask the driver to wait until you get into your home. Why is that important for?
Maybe to make sure no one's following you.
Exactly. People follow you. Exactly. Any questions on that? Number three, never dress or undress in front of a window. Always close the curtain before you dress or undress. So why is that important for?
so nobody is watching.
Exactly. I had a friend, she lived in a house by herself, and she left the blinds open, and there was a peeping Tom that was looking at her, and it was very scary. It was a very traumatic experience for her. Number four, never open the door to someone without knowing first about asking for the IDs. Have to slip the ID card under the door or through mail slot. So let's say I'm for the cable company. Do you let me in?
No, we need to check your ID first.
On the LAPD, do you let me in?
We have some no's in the chat.
I'm a firefighter, do you let me in? And another thing is, if someone asks about your CWC security system, do you let them in?
I see another no in the chat.
Say no.
Exactly. So any questions on number 4? Okay, we'll move on to number 5. Before you open the door, look out the window or people. Make sure you see the person and you know who it is before you open the door. So why is it important to know who's at your door for? It's important to know who's at the door because it could be anybody. You can make sure it's a person that you trust before you let them inside your house. Any question on that? Number 6, make sure the outside your house is well lit. If you live in a park, make sure all the lights outside are all working. So why is it important to have a lit up place for? Why is it important for?
So you can see when people come up.
Exactly, that's true. So any question number 6? Number 7, never let anyone know you're home alone. Why don't want people know you're home alone for? You guys remember those movies called Home Alone? You remember those movies? People that do crimes, they will target you. If they know you're home alone, you're an easy target. If there's a lot of people, they may target you. Yes, Charlotte? Okay.
In the chat, we have to see if it's safe to open. And it also may not be safe that someone could take advantage of you knowing that you're home alone.
Exactly. Number 8, if you live alone, you might want to put 2 names on the mailbox or the apartment directory. People will think you have a roommate. Why is that for? Why is it important to know that you have a roommate for?
I think more than one person lives there, right?
Exactly. Any questions on number 8? Okay, number 9, always lock your door, gates, and windows in your home. I'm going to repeat it again because it's very important. Always lock your door, gates, windows in your home. Because this is where a lot of crime occurs, because people will leave their doors, gates, and windows unlocked. So any questions on that? Okay, number 10, have emergency phone numbers by the phone in case of emergency. Important numbers are for the police department, fire department, hospital, and people that you can trust, you can call if you're in trouble. Your help can also help you find these numbers. I can tell you a story. I have a friend, I just spoke to him about an hour ago. He had to go to the hospital, so he had to call the number for the hospital. So it's very important to have that information because you can have emergency at any time. You can have a fire, you can have some the police, you have health problems. It's very important you have those numbers with you. Any questions? We're going to move on. How do I stay safer when I go into the community? Tip number 1, try to walk with a friend. Try not to go out at night alone. If you do go out at night, carry a flashlight. So why do you want to do that for?
Go ahead, David.
Never stop in the middle of the road.
Exactly. Exactly. Any questions on that? Number 2, try not to go places you do not know very well. Stay alert of your area at all times. So why you don't want to go to places you don't know very well for? I'll give you an example. I was on vacation and I had no clue where to go. So I have a friend to help me to go around town. So that's an example of trying to go places you don't know very well because you don't know it. Any questions on that? Number 3, do not walk on empty streets, empty lots, construction sites, or buildings that are not used, dark places, or near alleys. Walk in busy, well-lit streets. Avoid shortcuts. Why you want to do that for? If you're isolated in a dark place or place that's not being used, what's going to happen? Oh, okay, go ahead.
Might get lost.
Exactly. You don't want to walk in empty streets, empty lots, constructed sites, and buildings not used. And criminals will look for places where there's nobody at because they can do the crime because no one is observing them. So any questions on that? Number 4, do not get into a car with a stranger. My friend's ex-wife used to get in cars with strangers, even know the person. And that's very, very dangerous. And in fact, when I went to the supermarket, there was a woman asked me to get a ride with her. I didn't take the ride because she could kidnap me or something. Even if the stranger's attractive person, don't get in a car with them. Even if they give you money, don't get in a car with them because they could kidnap you. It could be a crime syndicate or something like that. It could be someone send you up. Any questions? Number 5, make sure to walk confidently. Keep your head up and look around. So why you want to look around if you're on the streets for? If you're in the community? Do anyone know?
No.
Stay focused.
Exactly. Make sure you look around, keep your head up and look around. Any questions on number 5? Number 6, always look around you and behind to make sure no one's following you. So if someone's following you, what do you do? What do you do if someone's following you?
Maybe walk into a crowded place or call someone. I see Charlotte says in the chat.
Exactly.
Get loud, make your presence known, make sure they know that you know that they're following you.
Exactly. So we live in days with stalkers and people that follow you, do all these bizarre things. Any question on that?
In the chat, I see run away.
Exactly. Number 7, leave valuable things at home. Do not take a lot of money with you when you go out, but make sure you have at least enough for a taxi or a bus. So why you want to leave valuable things at home for?
So you don't get robbed.
Exactly. So in the news recently, someone had a Rolex watch and it was very expensive. They got robbed. And criminals, they know what expensive things are. So if you wear expensive items, they take it. If you have a diamond ring, they might take it. You guys know that? Any questions? Number 8, carry a whistle, something that could make a very loud noise. This way, if you feel you're in danger, you can get help. Carry a personal alarm. So why do you want a whistle for if you're out in the community for?
you can be heard
Exactly,
around.
exactly.
What difference?
So make sure you have something make a loud noise because you might get in trouble. Number 9, if you feel in danger, scream fire, make a loud noise, use a whistle, and run towards bright lights and people. Try to get to a store that is open. So why you would say fire rather than help for? Do anyone know why you would say fire rather than help?
David, go ahead.
I think it will be a way to stop from roll.
But if there's a real fire, stop, drop, and roll. Right?
I have no idea.
If you say help, no one will believe you. But if you say fire, you get everybody's attention. That's the reason why you say fire for. Any questions? Number 9, number 10, be aware where headphones connected to your music device or cell phone can distract you and make you a target for danger. So why you don't want to be on a cell phone for? Why you don't want to be on this for?
Don't be distracted.
Exactly. Someone could come from behind me and attack me. So it's not good to have your cell phone on you. It can distract you. Any questions on that from community? Now we're gonna move on. How to stay safer when I take the bus? How many people take the bus? Okay, we're gonna talk about safety tips, how to stay safe in the bus. Number 1, plan and use most safest, most direct route to destination. So why you want to go to the most direct route to your destination for? You want to go there because it's easier. It's easier to get there. It's safe. If you take 3 buses rather than taking 6 buses, it's a lot easier. Any questions? Number 2, wait for buses at bus stops that are well lit and have a lot of people waiting. So make sure you're at a bus stop that's well lit, have a lot of people waiting. Make sure there's lights. If there's no lights, it could be a target for crime. You guys have any questions on that? Number 3, do not wait alone at bus stops, train stations, or taxi stands. If you have to wait alone, make sure you have a flashlight and whistle with you. A suggestion, you could get a group of friends together to ride the bus together. So at the regional center, there's people that receive services, they're all ride the bus together, and this make it a lot safer than riding a bus by yourself. You guys have any questions on number 3? Number 4, when you take a bus, try to sit near the bus driver. Why do you want to sit near the bus driver for? Why do you want to sit near the bus driver?
So the bus driver can also be aware of what's happening to you.
Yes,
And it's safer.
yes. I'll tell you a story. On back of the bus, there was a woman that got saturated solid on the back of the bus. So if you're back of the bus, no one can see you. If you're in front of the bus by the bus driver can protect you. You guys know that? Okay, so hey Alex, how you doing?
Oh, doing well. Just been busy trying to get ready for the new school year. I've been applying for education work.
Oh, that's good.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Number 5, when you get off the bus, look at people that are getting off with you. Make sure you're not being followed once you get off the bus. Number 2, if you think you're being followed, walk into the first public place you see. So I know this from personal experience because those people that's trying to attack my friend and I ran into a grocery market to get away from the people. I ran to the back of the store to get away from them. Because you go back in the store, what happened is the employees will know this, and they'll do something. Any question on number 5? Okay, number 6, make sure before you go somewhere, you tell someone you trust 3 things. Number 1, tell them where you're going. Number 2, tell them who you're going with. Number 3, tell them what time you expect to be home. Number 4, if you're going to be late coming home, call the person you trust, let them know how late you'll be. So for example, with my parents, I tell my parents where I'm going to and what time I expect to be home. If I'm late, I just text them, tell them I'm running late. You can do that with your friends, your staff, or anybody. You guys know that? So any questions? Okay, I'm gonna go back and sum everything up. So we're gonna sum everything up. Physical abuse is someone touches you. Sexual abuse is someone rape you or assault you or touch you in appropriate area. Hate crime is someone hate you because of who you are, because your ethnic background, and because of your religion, because of your sexual orientation, because of different things. Emotional abuse is someone hurt you by screaming, verbal assault, humiliation, threats. Crime against property when someone takes something that's yours or do damage to something that you own. A caretaker is someone that takes care of you, you get paid to take care of you. Neglect is failure to provide for food, shelter, medical care. Abandonment is someone leaves you. Abduction, kidnapping is someone taking somewhere you don't want to go. Financial abuse is someone takes your money. So wrap things up. You have the right to feel safe. If a crime happens to you, you should tell someone. You can do things to keep you safe. Remember, you have the power. So any final questions about crime prevention?
No questions.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Give yourself a hand.
You.
You're welcome. So our next workshop will be in a couple of weeks. So you guys have a good Labor Day and everybody take care.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You too, Wesley. Bye.
Bye.